welcome back to another episode of SQL Interview Insights. Today, let's solve a problem. I gathered this information from Google. I'm not sure which company asked this question. So let's get started. Write a query to display how many new customers and repeated customers have placed the orders each date. So this is the expected output. We are given customer orders table with order ID, customer ID, order date, and some order amount here. And the expected output is for order date Jan 1, we have 2 new customers and 0 repeated customers. So for Jan 1, we have 2 entries here, which is the beginning of the order dates here. So we have 2 customers, 2 new customers here. And for Jan 2nd, we have 0 new customers and 1 repeated customer. So for Jan 2nd, we have customer ID 1, who already made an entry on Jan 1st. So he is not a new customer. He is a repeated customer here. And for Jan 3rd, 3 is a new customer, 4 is a new customer. So we have 2 entries here. So if we see the pattern here, if we can find the minimum date for the customer ID and compare with the order date, wherever the minimum date matches with the order date, which means that's the first time we are seeing that customer ID here, and we can count against the new customer. And when the minimum date is not equal to the order date, that means the customer is already existing. He already made some purchases and he is not a new customer, and we can count that against the repeated customers. So let's get started how the query looks like. First thing is we have to select the minimum order date for the customer. So select customer ID and minimum order date as min date. Let's call this as min date from customer order table. Do a group by on customer ID. So for each customer, we have the minimum date here. So let's put this one in a CDE. And the next step will be, we have to compare this minimum date with the order date in the customer table. Let's go back to the customer table. Select order date, and then the from table will look like from customer orders C, and we should do an inner join with our CDE. We'll call this as an O and CDE as C on O dot customer ID is equal to C dot customer ID. And let's do a count on case when our minimum date is equal to order date, then 1, else null. So when minimum date is equal to order date, which means the first time we are seeing that entry in the order table, so that will be a new customer here. And again count case when minimum date is not equal to order date, which means the customer is already existing and he is not a new customer. So then 1, else null, as repeated customer here. And do a group by order date. Order by order date. Yeah, so we have these results here. For Jan 1st, we have 2 and 0. I'll just compare few values. Jan 16th 1 and 0, Jan 15th 0 and 1. Yeah, this is the expected output, and this is the output we got, which matches with the expected output. Thank you for watching this video.